You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash Report.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report, Flash Report. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this live, quick Pelican post-game report. Flash Report, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. I'm Big Q. Fam, a little medical update on Dejounte Murray. We covered this last night on the PPR final on the Pelicans Bulls recap stream. We talked about that more in depth, but you can feel free to check out that broadcast if you hadn't. But this is a press release to go over with you guys that was officially released from the New Orleans Pelicans organization as of like less than an hour ago. And it's just a couple of paragraphs. And it says that for immediate release, the New Orleans Pelicans medical update. The New Orleans Pelicans announced today the following medical updates, starting off with Trey Murphy, who suffered a left hand fracture during the fourth quarter of last night's game against the Chicago Bulls. Medical imaging taken after the game confirms the injury. He will be out indefinitely, and further updates will be appropriately provided. So he won't be playing with it. We know it's a left hand fracture, according to some reports. That's happening with with Dejounte Murray. And we'll get to Trey Murphy in a second, but it's offhand. He's a right-handed shooter of the ball. His left hand is fractured. There's a clip that's on our Twitter, X rather, where, I retweeted it. Shout out to the Pelicans film room. They did a good job of clipping it. And I reposted that clip where you can see where the injury occurred when he was taking a three-point shot, and Zach LaVine runs up to him and tries to defend the shot. He hits him and kind of knocks Dejounte Murray back. He falls. His left hand actually hits. He braces himself as he falls back, and you can see it happened on the fall, him hitting the ground. And then when they tried to go and pick him up, they reached for both his hands, and he didn't want him to touch that left wrist. They pulled him up using his right wrist and arm. So something happened there. As you can see the clip, you can literally see when it happened. But outside of that, man, very, not good news. The first game, he almost had a triple-double in a matchup. Some bad news off bat, but listen, we'll get Dejounte Murray back. It's early. It was just the first game of the season. It's a very long season, so I know we often deal with these type of weird injuries. We've been dealing with it for the last 5 or 6 years, especially pertaining to some of our key players. But once again, do not, get down in the dumps on it. We do understand it happens, and it happened in the first game, so there's plenty of time to get him rehabbed and get him back into the contest. Now, a little information on the fractured hand fracture that they're talking about. And according to several medical websites, one in particular speaks about it, and it says more than likely they'll have to follow up until 1 to 3 weeks after the injury. For severe fractures, you need physical therapy. After your splint or cast is removed, you can usually return to work or sports activities in about 8 to 12 weeks after the fracture. So you're looking at roughly, on the long end of it, assuming that it is to the opposite effect, you're looking at a timeline based on some of the medical information I was researching, because they really didn't give us this timeline. This is just me doing side research, that you could possibly look in anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. So you're looking at, on the rough end of it, about 3 months without Dejounte Murray before you'll see him return to basketball. So that's going to be something we have to deal with. The Pelicans will more than likely adjust. We talked about on the show possibly Elfrid Payton being re-signed as a veteran guard to come in to help during that time frame. Pelicans could have something else in mind. We'll just have to see about it moving forward. But in terms of, that's the negative news. The positive news is, as far as Trey Murphy III is concerned, according to the release, who sustained a right hamstring strain on October the 2nd, has progressed well through the first phase of rehabilitation and has been cleared to begin the return to play conditioning phase of the rehab process. Further updates will be provided in approximately 2 weeks. This is what the Pelicans originally said about dealing with Trey. So that is a positive as he kind of tunes up to the next level of the rehab process as well. Dejounte starting his. So 8 to 12 weeks, with the information in terms of the injury, the severity of the injury. 3 months is the rough end of the time frame. Trey Murphy trying to work to get back in that thing. No medical update on Zion Williamson, according to what they released, that he was dealing with a non-C19 related illness. We don't know if he'll make the trip with Portland or go up there because we got 2 games. We got we started the first West Coast trip, if you want to call it that, as we have 2 games, Friday and Sunday against the Portland Trail Blazers, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week against the Golden State Warriors. All those games on the road. So 4 games on the road, then we come home. So the Pelicans, man, they have some depth. They're going to have to kind of, get a little creative. We didn't have Zion against the Bulls. We didn't have Trey against the Bulls. The Pelicans star stepped up. CJ had a good game. BI was fantastic. He was the player of the game. He did his thing. We've seen Yves step up, and that's what you're going to have to do. We're going to have some of these guys to step up off the bench. Jordan Hawkins looked good. We're going to have to get those guys. So when some of these other guys, key guys, go down, the younger guys have to step up, and Jordan Hawkins have to absorb some of those minutes, man. And some of these other guys, like Javonte Green, they're going to have to step up and do what they did last night to kind of help the team out. We kind of win as a team here. So anyway, with that being said, that's going to end the stream. Y'all, tell y'all what, I want y'all to get involved. Talk to me. Let me know what you think about the Dejounte Murray injury. Who do you think we should get? Give me some answers. Let's move. We already know what we got to do here. I like to kind of invoke solution mode. Let's get into solution mode. I want y'all to tell me y'all solutions in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think the Pelicans should do in terms of dealing with the Dejounte Murray injury. What are your thoughts on Trey Murphy? And let's see what we can get going here. Give me some positive suggestions. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get on that. Get on out on that. Listen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in on this flash report. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Sharing is caring, man. And share PPR, man, across the Pelican world. With that being said, I'm going to get out on that, man. I appreciate y'all. Much love, and go Pels.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.